Hello, welcome to Module 7 of the course Personal Finance. I believe you have been following and have been finding the course so rich and informative. So in Module 7, we are considering how to make money legally and ethically. Having mastered managing, we've talked about saving and investing. We are now focused on how you can earn this money. So what this module is about is to help explore legitimate opportunities, income opportunities, different streams of income, and how to build wealth legally and ethically. So in this course, you will learn about active income, passive, and even portfolio income, how to scale your business, how to become aware of tax, and also how to avoid being scammed. So if you master these concepts, it will help you to generate income responsibly, make informed financial decisions, and also help to build sustainable wealth. So please sit tight while we continue. So you will find this module 7 very, very useful, because before you talk about saving, you have to know how do I make my money legally. So three main income streams. There are three primary income streams that are crucial, okay? So for decisions about your time, your future planning, and how your wealth grows. So there are three. We have active income, passive income, and portfolio income. So for active income, this is money earned directly by performing a work. For instance, you take up a 9-to-5 job or a freelance work. This is active income. So it provides reliability but has a natural ceiling due to finite time. If you don't work, you don't get paid. So that's about active income. You get paid because you worked. So it's money earned directly when you perform a work. So that's what's called active income. Then for passive income, it is money you earn while you are sleeping. So in passive income, you earn with minimal daily effort, maybe after an initial investment of time or money. For instance, maybe you have invested in rents, you've built houses. So passive income can be in form of rental income, dividends, or even royalties. So if you have a house that someone of tenants are renting, that's passive income, money that is coming while you are still sleeping. So this passive income offers financial freedom and scalability. It allows money to work for you. Instead of you working for money, money begins to work for you. So the third income stream we'll look at is portfolio income. Portfolio income is when you are earning from investments. Income comes from buying and selling of assets, like stocks, bonds, or even real estate for profit. This is a high growth potential but involves also. So successful investors combine research, strategy, and patience when it comes to portfolio income. Think how to become a global investor. So it involves high risk. So these three main streams of income are very crucial for making wealth. They are very crucial. So active income, like I say, passive income, and portfolio income. Now let's take a quick overview of these groups of income. We just try to compare them. All right. So move to the previous slide so that you see how you compare them, because it is important you know the difference between them. Try to compare, because sometimes if you don't compare well, you will take, instead of going for active income, you go for passive. So key benefits. For instance, active income is very reliable. It can pay your bills today. Can you see? So it can what? Pay your bills today. But for passive income, it will give you financial freedom, and it is also scalable. That's for passive income. But for portfolio income, it has high growth potential. It can also help you to build wealth. Now, how do you start a business or side hustle? How do you start a business or side hustle? Entrepreneurship is a powerful path to wealth. Any wealthy person you see today, most of them have a background or experience in entrepreneurship. But it demands careful planning, attention to legal and financial details. So we have to distinguish quickly between hobby and business. Some people will be doing work, and instead of getting paid, they are not getting the pay. And at the end of the day, you think it is just a hobby. A hobby is what you do for enjoyment, whether you are paid for it or not, right? While a business is deliberately created to solve a problem, and when you solve a problem, you earn your profit, you earn your money. So you have to differentiate between what a hobby is and what business is. When it is hobby, whether you are paid for, whether those services are paid for or not, you are not bothered. But when it comes to business, you are deliberate about solving a problem in order to get profit. All right. So business requires registration. So if you want to do business, it requires registration. It requires adhering to tax regulations, and it also demands careful financial management. Approaching a business with a hobby mindset can lead to underestimating costs and ignoring legal requirements. So you don't when you take it as a hobby, if you have that mindset, you will be underpaid. You will also be undervalued. All right. So another thing you have to take note when you want to start a business or side hustle is that it's not just about starting, it's about scalability. It's about growing. So what do I mean by growth? Growth means increasing revenue by proportionally adding resources. For instance, you open a second bakery location, or you double a cost. Maybe you start a bakery business and decide to give it an extension. You give it another location. So that is growth. But what is scaling? Scaling increases revenue without a proportional increase in cost. For instance, you create a recipe app for a bakery. That your bakery just decide to create an app that can make your work and production efficient. So scaling focus on efficiency and leverage for exponential expansion. And this is good because it leads to significant wealth. So if you have a mind of starting a business or side hustle, you have to know the difference between hobby and business, and also the difference between growth and scalability. Now, here is a 7-step startup checklist that can help you if you want to start a side business. Starting a side business requires planning. You don't just do it haphazardly. So if you follow these steps, it will help you. First, evaluate your skills and resources. What can you offer? Assess your abilities and talents to ensure your business idea is realistic and leverage on your strengths. All right. So ask yourself, what can I offer? What skills do I have? What skills do I have that people are ready to pay for? What services can I render that people are ready to pay for? What problem can I solve that people will be willing to part with their money? That's first. The second step is do a market research. Study your target market and competitors. Try to note your target market. Try to note in every market there are competitors. All right. So you try to note what is my target market? Who are my competitors? This will help you to identify demand. It will also help you to identify gaps, and it will help to guide your pricing and marketing. Number 3 step you need to take notice: create a business plan. After doing your research, after checking to know your skills, you do your research, create a business plan. The business plan will outline your vision, your goals, your customers, your marketing operations, and even what the financial implication, so that it can help you to stay focused and help you to make informed decisions. Next, after creating a business plan, is to register a business name. Choosing a unique name and registering it will protect your brand, and it will help to establish your professionalism. Then the next step is to obtain license and permit. Secure necessary government approvals to operate legally and avoid fines or shutdown. If for instance in Nigeria, you register business with CAC. When you register, you can also obtain licenses, all right, on the services, your products you are providing. So then the next step is open a business bank account. Open a business bank account. Separate your personal and business finance for clear bookkeeping and easier tax filing. You see it, separate a personal and business finance for clear bookkeeping and easier tax filing. It is good, so you have an account for your business. Then finally, get business insurance. All these steps are important. Is one, they serve as building block. Okay, if you want to start up a side hustle, these are your checklists. Sit down with this so that when you're able to do it, you will be happy. Because for instance, this last step, get business insurance. Insurance protect your business from unexpected events. Like we said before in our previous mode, that life is unpredictable. There are unexpected events like liability or property damage, and it will help to provide you with peace of mind. So this 7-step startup checklist will actually help you if you want to start a side hustle. Now, but you have to also be aware of the legal safeguards for business. So here we'll look at 6 elements of a legal contract. When money changes hands, legal protection is essential. Clear agreements, understanding your rights. Maybe when you are dealing with a transaction, you have to understand the rights of the client, your own rights, all right? As a businessman or a businesswoman, you have to know it. This will help to prevent disputes and also financial loss. All right. So these 6 elements of legal contract will help you. Number 1 is offer. You have to have a clear proposal stating what one party provides and expects in return. So if you are providing a service, you have to be very clear on how much the service is worth. Number 2 is acceptance. There must be agreement to the exact terms of the offer without changes. If you agree that you are paying $50,000 or $50, that should be an agreement between the two parties, both you and the client, all right, or your customer. Number 3 is awareness. Both of you or both parties in business should understand that they are entering a binding agreement. That awareness is important. Some people just take it casually. No, when we are talking about legality of a business, all these have to be in place. Number 4 is consideration. Exchange something of value between parties. That means what you are offering, the service or product you are offering, is valuable to the client or customer. For the customer or client to be able to part with his or her money or finance. Number 5 is capacity. Both parties are legally able to enter the contract. The party must be in a legal age. For instance, if you want to sell maybe a car to an underage of 15 years, that is wrong. That is out of place legally, because under 18 is considered as a minor. So you have to consider legal age. You have to consider whether the person have sound mind. You don't go and begin to sell to a madman. You sell, maybe I made example using car. You want to sell a car to a madman, and the madman will just say, okay, take a car of 5 million, come and give you 500 million, and you are happy, you are excited, I have done it. No, legally you will be arrested. So the person you are dealing with must be of legal age and must also have a sound mind. Then another thing you have to take note is the contract purpose must be legal. That's legality. It must comply with public policy. You must be aware of the policy of the country or the state where you are doing your business, and your business must adhere to the policy that or guideline that guides business in that place. So when you follow these 6 elements of a legal contract, you will not go. It will prevent disputes. It will prevent financial right. So you have to know your right too as a worker. As a worker, you are entitled to legal protections that safeguards your pay, your safety, and well-being. So if you understand this, it will help you to advocate for yourself and ensure employers' responsibilities are met. So if you are a worker in a company or in a firm, you have your rights. So what are the rights of a worker? Number one is you have a right to timely payment. For instance, employers must compensate employees according to the agreed schedule. If I employ you, for instance, for a month, and I said, okay, I will pay you $10,000. At the end of the month, your expectation is $10,000. So I shouldn't pay you less. I should not come and pay you $500. So, and I should pay you on time. I should not wait. Okay, if I say at the end of the month, I should not wait for another 2 months or 3 months. That is wrong. So employers must compensate employees according to the agreed time. Late or withheld wages violate labor laws. All right. So number 2 is written contract. You are entitled as a worker to a written agreement. This written agreement outlines your duties, your job description, your hours of pay, your pay and benefits. This is important because it helps to prevent misunderstandings. Now, the third right I spell out here is you have a right to safe work environment. See, if the environment is not safe, if the environment is toxic, you will not be productive. So employers are legally required to minimize hazards, provide training, and ensure a safety environment for their employees or for their workers. So you work well when the environment is conducive, when the facilities are okay to make you comfortable. That is when you work. So you have, as a worker, you have rights to all this. So knowing these rights will help you. It will protect you from unfair treatment, unsafe conditions, and pay disputes. All right. So, and this will make your work environment fairer for work. So you need to know your rights as a worker. Don't just be working. When you want to, maybe you have a plan of changing your job, you want to go into it, you have to know, what are my rights? Or if you are an employer, these rights should be protected. All right. So, but now, another thing you have to take note if you want to make money ethically and legally is you have to be aware of tax. All right. So understanding your paycheck is crucial for managing personal finance. What you take home, that take home amount is really your full earnings. When you carry, maybe when you are paid from the bank or you are paid from where you work, and you think, oh, this is my take home. That take home is not your full earnings most of the time, because tax and have been deducted. So you have to know the difference between gross and net pay. It will help you to know how to budget effectively. It will help you to know how to also calculate your tax. What is even gross pay? Gross pay is your total earnings before any deduction. Before the deduction of tax, before the deduction of any other things by the government, this, or stamp duties, this is your total earnings. Maybe for instance, you are being paid $20 per hour for 40 hours. That for 40 hours, you multiply 40 hours times $20, it will be $800 gross pay. That's what it means. That means no deduction have been made yet. Then what is even net pay? Net pay is what we call take-home pay. Net pay is what we call take-home pay. This is the amount you are actually receiving after all the mandatory deductions in form of tax or other duties. So what you take home, your take-home pay, is what we call net pay. It is the money available for your expenses, for your living expenses, for your savings, and discretionary spending. Now, what are the common deductions? Income tax, whether from the federal, from the state, or local government for public service. All these are deductions. At the end of the day, they are most likely deducted from your salary before you have been paid. All right. Another common deduction is Social Security and Medicare contributions for retirement and disability. Maybe you this deduction relates to retirement. Maybe there are some it relates to pensions, pension deductions, and what have you. Another form of deduction that may happen is benefit related, such as health insurance. Maybe you are with the NHIS, that is Nigeria Health Insurance Scheme. You register with them, or with the state health insurance scheme. They'll be making deductions based on agreement, although some of these programs are optional. So these deductions are investments in your long-term health and financial stability. You have to understand how it works, because it will help you to plan your budget accurately and help you to make informed financial decisions. Now, you need to avoid scams. How do you avoid scams? And what are ethical practices? The world we are into is full of opportunities, but also get rich quick schemes are fraudulent. You have to identify scams and make ethical decisions. All right? And this is critical because scammers use advanced technology. The more technology is advancing, the more scam and fraud is advancing. So do not fall victim, because if you fall victim, it can lead to financial loss and legal trouble. Now you have to be aware of Ponzi schemes and Ponzi and pyramid schemes. Ponzi schemes promise high returns, paying early investors with money from new investors. They'll tell you bring 20 US dollars, you will earn 500 US dollars, just like that. Now these Ponzi schemes collapse when new investment slows. Pyramid schemes require fees to join and profit solely from recruiting more people. That's pyramid schemes, where they'll ask you to pay a fee to join. Any business that is telling you to come and pay a fee to join, you have to be careful about it so that you will not be scammed. Ponzi scheme will promise you high returns, pay early, and make you to waste your time. Then we are in the era of artificial intelligence, and there are a lot of AI scams that are going on. Scammers can use AI for voice cloning, where your voice will be mimicked for urgency. They also do deep fakes, AI generated videos, endorsing fake investments, and even fake job offers requiring upfront payments for non-existing job. Please be vigilant and critically evaluate unexpected financial requests. So I put up the PLUS model. The PLUS model is an ethical decision-making model. The PLUS, P for policy, L for legal, U for universal, S for self. For policy, you have to ask your question: does your decision align with company rules or codes of conduct? These are ethical decisions, practices. Then next is L, legal. Are your actions legal in your state or country? What you are trying to do, are they legal? The business you are trying to do, is it legal? In policy, I say, is it aligning with the policy of the country or of the state? Then U, universal. Will you be comfortable if everyone made the same decision? All right. So then S, self. Does your decision align with your conscience and integrity? You have to ask yourself these questions. That boils down to ethical decision making. So when you use this PLUS model, it ensures choices are legal, responsible, and ethical. It will help to protect you from fraud and help you to build trust. So you have a practical exercise to do. This exercise will help you to evaluate your current income, plan for scalable opportunity, and stay vigilant against financial risks, fostering financial literacy and long-term wealth. So you have to sit down and plan your income based on what you've learned from this module. So don't forget, this module emphasizes that true financial success is built on legitimacy and ethics. Remember, building wealth is a long-term process that requires diligence, careful planning, and ethical decision-making. Opportunities that promise quick reach, get rich quick, or bypass legal and ethical standards are almost always dangerous. So if you apply the principles in this module, I bet you can grow your income confidently, and you can also protect yourself from financial risk and establish a strong, sustainable path toward financial independence and professional integrity. Thank you. So you have an assessment in your module. You just go to take it, and don't forget, do that practical. That practical exercise will help you to be intentional about making money legally and ethically. Thank you for listening.